Hi everyone, it's Miss Rebecca. Today you'll need a white paper horizontally, a pencil, and you'll need warm colors. That's red, orange, and yellow. And you'll need cool colors. That's green, blue, and purple. Colored pencils and markers. So find the center of your paper and you're going to create the moon by making this large letter C. So it's just a curve and it's in the middle of your paper. It almost reaches the top and bottom. And since it's the moon, we're going to double this curve and make this moon shape. Today you're making the moon and the sun together. So we're going to start the sun part a little bit lower than the top of the moon, and you're just doing a half circle. I did it freehand, but if you want to use a stencil like this, you can grab a lid or a small plate and make that circle perfect. So I'm just erasing my sketch circle. So we have a half circle and you have that full moon shape, and notice the top and the bottom of the moon sticks out a little bit. Now we're going to add the eyes, and on the sun side it's two curves like a football shape with a circle in the middle. The circle should touch the top and the bottom, and then a small circle in the middle and a small circle on the top of that. Add a little curve above the eye and a larger curve above that. And that's the eyebrow here. So one's the eyelid and one is the eyebrow. Now find the other side here. The moon is going to have a closed eye or a sleeping eye. So just make that smiley shape and add a few little eyelashes. You're going to match the eyebrow so that both sides have an eyebrow. And that's just two curves, just like that. Now find the middle of your moon and create this slanted diagonal line here that curves down and in, and then make the side of the nostril with another curve. And that's the nose of the moon. Now find a place right here for the mouth, and the mouth is going to cut through so that they share a mouth. Okay, it's just a smile, and you're making two little bumps on the top and some lip on the bottom. Okay, so that's basically the face. Erase inside the nose because you don't need that. Get rid of all these little eraser marks. Go ahead and fix it up a little bit. If you made any mistakes, go ahead and outline the parts that you like a little bit darker. And I'm adding a little bit of eyelashes to the open eye. Okay, now this is a little tricky looking, but it's not that hard. You're just making a U and then a V and a U shape or a round shape and then a V shape that cuts in. This is harder than it looks. Just try your best. It should just look like a wavy sun rays coming off of that circle. A U and a V, a U and a V, a U and a V. You could think of it like those letters. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. So find the middle and make these two lines here, and find the center here and make a horizontal line. So what we're doing now is creating these diagonal slanted lines, and these lines radiate out from the sun. So it just looks like the sun has rays that are shining outwards to the outside of your paper. Okay, now on the moon side, we're going to just follow that curve of the moon, and we're going to do that a couple of times. Now I'm going to make some wavy lines that go to the edge of the paper, and then add a couple more curves that follow the same shape as the moon. Now inside all these sections here, we're going to add some detail. So you can add the side of the eye or leave it. And then inside these bands, you're going to create some stars to go with that nighttime theme. So if you don't know how to make stars, you can just put triangles. Triangles will work too, but the idea is that you're repeating a pattern inside these rings that go around the moon. And my pattern is to repeat the stars. But again, if you can't do stars, try triangles. Erase inside the stars if you made stars so that they're just one solid white star. Erase, 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 erase. And now we're going to add just different patterns and designs. They don't have to be exactly like mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some lines that radiate out from the moon shape. And you can add whatever kind of lines you want as long as they repeat. Okay. I'm making this band a little bit skinnier just to make some visual interest. And then I'm going to make these lines just radiate or come out from that moon shape. Okay, I'm just outlining and fixing up my rings. Now I'm going to add some circles in this ring, and I repeat the circle over and over to create this pattern. And there we have it. Okay, I think it's looking okay. I think I'll add a wavy line here, a wavy line here. Now, it's up to you what you want to add. I'm just adding some bumps and repeating the bumps to make a pattern. Okay, I think I like it. Now on the sun side, we're going to start filling in these bands. So I'm just doubling up this line, making it not one line, but two lines. And they're kind of like skinny straws that come out from the sun. And then I'm going to add some lines going across in each band. Because when I color this, I think I want a black, white pattern. So you're just drawing in your lines, repeating these lines over and over until each band is filled in. Okay, now each section needs a different pattern. So I'm going to do something here, skip a space, and do the same thing here. A wavy line, I'm going to double that wavy line, skip a space. I'm going to make a wavy line, double that wavy line, skip a space, make a wavy line, double that wavy line, and there we have it. Now in the next section, I'm going to make arrows that point outwards. And I'm just going to repeat those arrows that point outwards in this section. Okay, so it's a diagonal and another diagonal, and it points outwards. Just repeating it because I'm making a pattern. So I'm repeating the same line, two diagonals that point outward. All right, there we have it. Okay, looking good. Looking great. The last section with the arrows, adding it in. And there you have it. Okay, I think I'll add a little bit more to these sections here. Now this is up to you, what you add. I'm just adding some polka dots just to make a little more interest. Okay, now you don't have to do it exactly like mine. Now I'm going to lay this flat. I'm going to find the center where the moon, usually it's where this silhouette of the face of the moon is, and I'm going to outline it with black. Just so I know where the picture divides. So one side is going to have only cool colors, and the other side will have warm colors. So your warm colors are red, orange, and yellow, and brown if you like brown, or dark red and pink. So that's on the sun side. And on the moon side, we're doing cool colors: blue, black, green, purple, lime green. All of those are your cool colors. Now let's start with the moon side. So I'm gonna just start outlining with marker what I'm going to fill in with blue. So I'm going to outline all of the moon with this blue marker. Then I'm going to outline, tracing around the pencil very carefully, tracing around the eye, lid carefully, the eyelashes, and the mouth. Okay, I outlined all of that with blue because I'm going to fill in this whole moon face with blue, but I'm going to use colored pencil. So now I'm going to take my green and I'm going to outline this section with green. So I'm just going around and I'm tracing around the circles that I drew with pencil very carefully with this green marker, because I'm going to end up filling in that space with a green colored pencil. So check it out. Notice that I outlined it with a green marker and I'm filling it in now with a green colored pencil. And the two greens are different. One is a little darker because it's a marker, and the other one is a colored pencil, so it's a little bit lighter. I'm careful not to color in the white circles. I'm just going around it and filling it in. Okay, now I'm going to take my blue and notice that I've outlined it with that blue marker, and now I'm filling it in with a light blue colored pencil. So take your time and notice that you can color right on top of the marker with the colored pencil. It's okay. Go right over it. The marker's not going anywhere. So you could just color right on top of that marker. Perfect. Okay, now I'm taking my purple and I'm going to start another pattern. So these squares can create a pattern with color. So I have a purple square, I skip a space, a purple square, I skip a space, a purple square. And then I take my purple colored pencil and I fill in the purple square. And notice that the marker is a little bit darker than the colored pencil, but that looks really nice. And I'm also going to take some purple and fill in the lips, just so the lips look a little different than the moon face. Now decide if you're going to go with green. You can continue your squares and fill in every other square with green. So I'm taking my dark green now and filling in every other square so that it makes that purple green, purple green, purple green pattern. Okay. Now notice I've only used blue, green, and purple. All are cool colors. Okay, now I'm going to take my black and I'm going to outline this ring with black. And again, you can use whatever cool colors you want in whatever order that you want. I'm just showing you a way to sort of meditate as you're coloring and making patterns. There's no right or wrong answer. As long as you're using only cool colors on this side, you're doing it correctly. Okay, so I like that black and white checker pattern. I'm also going to outline my stars with black. because I plan to keep the stars white. So I'm outlining them with black. And I have these radiating lines. I'm just outlining them with black. And you could do this with a marker or with a pencil. And I'm going to outline this whole section. And now I'm going to fill in around the stars. Just careful to keep the stars white. Notice that I skipped a space because I want to continue with that pattern. So I'm coloring in and filling in with my colored pencil around the stars. Careful to keep the stars white. And then we're almost there. Finishing up this pattern. So every other square was black, and now every other square is this dark blue. Okay, now I'm taking my green marker and outlining the wavy lines. And I'll take my light green pencil and I'll do each band this light green, but skip a space in between so that you're making a pattern. Okay, so I'm going to switch now to purple so that my pattern is green, purple, green, purple, green, purple. And again, your patterns may be completely different than mine. I'm just filling this in with marker. This whole band I'm filling in with the purple marker because I think it looks a little bit different. The color looks different from the other purples. It's a little bit brighter. And now I'm finally going to take my blue marker and just outline these bumpy shapes. They look like clouds to me, so I'm going to fill in around this little part with blue. And be creative with your patterns. Okay, now we're on this side. This is the sunny side, but we're also going to use black on this side just to emphasize where the eye is. Okay, and this black and white checkered pattern that I think will really look nice with the warm colors. So remember these bands we drew with the checkers? It's a pattern of white, black, white, black, white, black. So do all of these first if you're going to do this. Black and white, black and white, black and white. Just take your time. And notice I'm outlining with my black marker and filling in every other square with black. And notice that I outlined the eye and that black spot in the middle of the eye, the pupil, with black. You can also do that. Okay, almost there. Black, white, black, skip a space, white. Okay. Now, I'm going to outline my whole outside of the sun and the eyebrow and the eyelid and the iris, or the color part of the eye, and fill it in with orange. And then I'm going to outline the lips with my orange marker the same way. I'm going to take this red marker and outline the sun rays, or these fiery rays that are coming off of the sun. I'm going to do that with my red marker. Now, yellow. Take your yellow colored pencil and you can color right on top of your marker. You don't have to worry about the marker going anywhere. Just color right on top of the marker with your yellow colored pencil to fill in the face of the sun. Now you could switch to orange, fill in the lips and the eyebrow with orange if you like. Change to red, fill in the fiery sun rays with red. Just take your time and stay in the lines. Notice the marker outline and how it really looks nice with the colored pencil. Now I'm just taking my orange marker and outlining all my swervy, curvy lines. And I'm doing them all at the same time. And then I'm going to start filling in now. So this section I'm doing all orange. I skipped that arrow section and I'm filling in this whole section around the polka dots with my orange colored pencil. Just make sure that you're careful in coloring around the white circles. So fill in all the way around. Take your time. Good. Okay, now this last section is the arrow section. I'm going to take my red and I'm going to make a pattern where I make a red arrow and then I skip a space and I make a red arrow and I skip a space. So every other arrow is red, and we're going to create a pattern with color here. So I'm using just the red colored pencil first on these arrows. And now I'm going to switch to yellow and I'm going to fill in the remainder of these arrows with yellow. So fill those in. So your color pattern is yellow arrow, red arrow, yellow arrow, red arrow. Perfect. Okay, we're almost there. I really like these circles, so I'm going to outline them with red, and I'm going to use the red all over. Okay, looking great. Now I'm just adding a little bit of extra outline with my orange marker, and I just embellishing a little bit because I think it really makes it pop. So again, do it your way, add patterns as you like, as long as this side is just warm. And here you have it, your warm and cool sunny